friends. Welcome back to my channel. I am Aso, and if you are freaking out because I'm more than a pair of hands, I completely understand. So here I am in my full glory, or I guess just the torso part of me. So I guess, does Aso have legs? Stay tuned. Maybe never. So I have had a lot of questions from you guys asking me about how I started reading tarot and why I started reading tarot and when I started reading tarot. So I'm just going to answer all of those questions today because truthfully, if you had told me from 2 years ago that I was going to be reading tarot cards on YouTube, I probably would have thought you were huffing glue. In order to talk about why I started reading tarot, I have to talk about who I was before I started reading tarot. So I will put a content warning now. I'm going to be talking about some heavier topics relating to mental illness. So feel free to click off if that is not something you are interested in knowing about. But we're just going to jump into it. So let's paint the scene. The year was 2019 PE, pre-ASO. And I had just started my senior year of college. I was cynical, apathetic, pretty much hated my life, was afraid of everything, felt like I was just hurtling towards the void, and I was just this ball of anxiety and fear and dark energy, truthfully. Like, I didn't believe in anything. I genuinely believed that people lived and worked and died. I was so disheartened by the universe. I felt completely alone. I was totally antisocial, apart from like going to class. I essentially spent most of my time isolating in my apartment playing The Sims, and I just couldn't handle existing in my body. Like, I genuinely just felt never-ending anxiety and fear. I looked at the world as gray. Nothing gave me joy. I didn't even understand like what it was like to feel joy. It had been that long. But yeah, I didn't believe in anything. I certainly did not believe in tarot cards or anything like that. I didn't really have any experience with them. And truthfully, if I'm being completely honest, I looked down on tarot and psychics and all of those practices because I genuinely didn't understand them. And as a STEM student, if it didn't have APA citations, I wasn't about to consume it. You know what I mean? I really struggled with my mental health for a long time, and that's what made me interested in psychology. So all in all, I was very bitter, very sad, super cynical, just as funny, let's be clear. But yeah, very like hardened and bitter, and just trying my best to get through every day. But when I say I hated existing, I hated life. I felt so alone. I felt like I literally, the thought of existing for another 60-ish years if I remained healthy and didn't perish in some freak accident freaked me out. And I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna spend this time because I already hate the time I have to spend with my brain, and I don't think that I can continue to just play The Sims until I kick the bucket. So I already knew that I needed to find a hobby, right? I was like, I need to do something other than just fear everything. And one day I actually happened to come across a tarot video, and I really wish I could remember who it was so I could plug them, but I don't, unfortunately. But I saw it and I was like, this is bullshit. Like, yeah, okay, tarot cards are gonna tell me shit about me? Absolutely not. Like, yeah, okay, let's see this. And I did, and I was like, oh, well, that was pretty accurate. That's really weird. And it piqued my interest. And as a psychology student and a big fan of Carl Jung, I was really interested in learning more about tarot from a psychological standpoint, because it's important to remember I didn't believe in anything, so the whole spiritual nature to it didn't really resonate with me. And truthfully, when I started researching tarot, I was kind of uncomfortable with the spiritual aspects. It made me feel kind of weird, and it made me wonder if it's something I really wanted to explore. But there was something in me that just said, there's no harm in reading for yourself. Why don't you just get a deck, see how it goes, and the worst case scenario is you try it out and you decide it's not for you. So that's what I did. And I got my very first tarot deck, a standard Rider-Waite, on September 1st, 2019. So weirdly, I remember that date, but I think that goes to show how impactful tarot was if I can remember the exact date that I got my first deck. It should be noted that when I first started reading, it was only for myself. I just needed something to channel my own anxiety into, and also I really wanted to understand more about myself. I had no way to talk to myself, to understand myself. I didn't even realize it was possible to analyze yourself from this point of view and things like that. So, got a deck, got a book, and I started reading for myself. I would use spreads on Pinterest, and I just became super interested so quickly. Like I said, I was a mega skeptic, and I really had a hard time believing that a deck of cards could really tell me my business. So I was shocked, but also floored that once I started reading for myself, those readings were accurate. And it made me really curious to know, if I read for somebody else, is it going to be accurate? Is it going to work? And so I started reading for other people. And for me, what I ended up doing was I would do like a traditional Celtic cross spread. And I would, shuffle the cards, get them out, and then I would have like a book that I bought in my lap, and I would tell my friend, like, okay, you got this card in this position and it looks like it means this. And then I would explain everything, and I would ask them, how does this resonate? So I essentially went about it in kind of a sciencey way, where I was essentially just saying, look, I don't know if this works or not, but I want to try it out and I want to see how well it resonates. And to my surprise, it resonated really well. And I never thought of that as being like my ability. I was just like, oh wow, these cards, like, they work, like, that's impressive. I didn't really look at it from like a, oh my gosh, like, I'm so psychic, like, I am amazing, like, psychic queen. Never like anything like that. And truthfully, it wasn't even until like 6 months into reading that I even became open to the idea of spirituality. But when you start reading tarot for yourself, and truthfully, I think everybody should read tarot for themselves, you start to learn that the universe is paying attention. And it's kind of insane the types of things that you will find yourself getting insight on. So I started just doing simple readings for people, and I had decent results. And finally one day I was like, I think I'm gonna make a YouTube reading. I truthfully had wanted to do YouTube before I'd ever read tarot, but I didn't necessarily have a message. I didn't really have anything to talk about, and obviously putting yourself out there in front of people is really scary and overwhelming. So I had never even considered it. But after I found tarot, it all fell into place, essentially. And I realized, oh, I can make content that actually helps other people. I would love to try that. So really, I didn't have any idea that I was skilled at this until I started uploading videos to YouTube. So thank you to everybody who has been watching me and following me on this journey, because it has been really insane. But I feel extremely, extremely blessed, and like, I'm just incredibly humbled. And To think that a deck of cards that I shat all over before I even knew anything about them could not only teach me so much about myself, but open me up to an entire new world and an entire new way of perceiving life and learning more about my abilities. It's just the most mind-blowing thing in the world. So for me, why I started reading tarot was more just because I was really sad. I needed a hobby. Existing was hard, and truthfully, I can't sit here and say that tarot cured my depression or my anxiety or anything like that. It certainly didn't, but it made dealing with it a lot more manageable, and it has made dealing with it a lot more manageable. I find that I'm a lot more confident in myself. I feel like I can trust myself more, which, as a people pleaser who is really bad with boundaries, trusting myself and my own intuition has really strengthened my ability to stand in my power and be myself. I genuinely believe that everybody should read tarot for themselves because it is the best way to get to know yourself. It's literally a form of reflection. So I can't sit here and say that by reading tarot or reading your own cards, your life is going to be amazing, your mental illnesses are going to be cured, and you're going to feel on top of the world. I can't promise you any of that. But what I can say is that it really helped me a lot, and it got me in the right direction of where I needed to go. And in a lot of my readings, I talk about following your gut feelings before you understand why they're there. And I think that I'm a great example of that because I had zero intentions of this being my life and my future, which it is now, and I'm so incredibly excited. But I was planning on going to grad school and putting my nose to the grindstone for an extra 6 to 7 years. And truthfully, that still might be on the cards, on the cards. But like, actually, like, I have no idea because this all just came out of nowhere, and I'm just riding the wave, man. And I'm really enjoying it. And as long as I'm happy, I will definitely continue to do this. But the key word here is as long as I'm happy. But I just want you guys to remember that, like, I am a human, and a little short while ago, I didn't even believe in any of this. I didn't believe that this shit existed, and now look at me. Like, this isn't even all of it. Like, not even close. And like, it did stop me from buying so many clothes, but I just transferred the clothes buying trade to like this. But I mean, at least it's something I enjoy, and at least it's my job now. So the one thing that I just hope, you know, if you're here, if you're one of my friends, that you feel accepted here and that you feel like you can be yourself here, because for a long time I didn't believe it was okay to be myself. And even now, I think I still deal with like internalized shame about being a tarot reader and about doing this type of work, because it's not something that I can just sit here and say, like, yeah, I'm a certified psychic from the School of Psychics and my margin of error is like 5%. Like, there's no way for me to know that. And you know, tarot is so subjective. It's not the same as a career in STEM. But at the same time, it's almost like everything that I've ever done in my life was leading me up to this point and leading me to this spot. So I have to say I'm incredibly grateful that I'm here. I'm incredibly grateful that you all are here to join me on this ride. I just really hope that you feel at home here and you feel safe, because I know what it's like to feel like nobody understands you. And I think with my reading style, one of the most important things to me is that people feel seen, people feel heard. Because here's the thing, I'm not an all-seeing oracle. I'm just a human, and I know what it's like to feel like shit, to feel hopeless, to feel like nobody has your back, to feel like you're just drifting towards anything. But there's an abundance of knowledge within you just waiting to be tapped into, and tarot is one of the best ways to do that. So if you're interested in learning more about how to read tarot, I am definitely planning on making videos in the future, but in the meantime I will be posting short beginner tips on my TikTok if you're interested in that. Still figuring out TikTok, so please be patient with me on that end. I'm still getting with the times on that one, you know. It was really hard to replace Vine. I just felt like I was almost cheating on her, even though she's dead, even though she's been long dead. You know, you just honor her memory. Yeah, if you're interested in following that, definitely check me out there. You can also follow me on Instagram and on Twitter. I don't really do anything tarot related on Twitter. I just stream my thoughts, but like if you want to join me there, join me there. But yeah, I never expected to be where I am today, and I think that's the beauty in following what makes you happy. And for you, that might not be tarot cards, it might be art, it might be a certain career path. It's different for everybody, but what I can say is that even if tarot isn't like your end-all be-all, it's a great way to understand more about yourself so that you can find your true path and find where you're meant to go. And at the very least, I hope that you'll stick around to see my readings. And I am so excited to have you guys along with me. I'm so blessed, and I'm literally just so grateful. I could not have imagined being here at this point in time, and it wouldn't be possible without you guys. So thank you so much to everybody who has supported me and watched my readings. I absolutely love reading, and I will have a new reading up for y'all soon. So I'm gonna leave this video here. I know it's not super in depth, but I figured I would just sit down here, say hi, because I am going to be in front of the camera more. I am going to be making more videos about tarot, my life, things of that nature. Really whatever you guys want to see, I'm happy to make. But I hope that, you know, you feel less alone, and if you feel like you're late to the game when it comes to tarot, you're right on time, man. Just get in it and get started. There should be nothing stopping you. So I hope you guys all have a wonderful day or night. Feel free to follow me on my socials or check out all of my readings if you haven't. And yeah, I hope you guys will come back and see me soon. Bye.